Last time I spoke of the day they cut me down, cut us down. Last thing I spoke of, I was standing by my tree, my body, on two legs, looking at my own corpse. I turned, and there she was, crying, my Marissa, my savior, standing on our stump, the other half of our body. Of course, I went to her. I dropped my anger. I cared only about her sadness, and I held her. We must have gone back into the stump then, for a while. Because the next thing I remember clearly, the tree was gone. And there was a long trail where they drug it away. Well, at this point I had finished crying. We had finished crying. I looked around at all of our children that had grown up from seeds around us over the years. They were sad as well, of course. Their mother and father had died. We had so many children, all around, trees with faces. Some had horns, like me. Others, they looked like her, almost as if the trees had wings in their branches. They had cut down my tree. I wanted to know why. So, I walked on two legs to go and ask them why. Perhaps I will read this poem that Art has left here for us. Trees are slow to think. Trees don't care to speak. Trees are slow to anger until you turn their sap to ink. If you do this without asking, and take a fairy's home, words written with his skin have sealed your fate in stone. If you make him walk on two legs and come and ask you why, if you don't answer kindly, don't be surprised when the sap begins to fly. So, as I said, I wanted to know why. So, me and Marissa, we followed the tracks. It wasn't hard to follow the tracks of a drug tree, horse hooves, where they drug me along after cutting off all of my branches and leaves. I wanted to know why. So I followed the tracks. They led to a house. A large house. Inside was a man. I remember that his name was Gravin. I walked into the house. He was there. And I asked him, why? Why have you cut down my tree? He did not understand. He began screaming. And fled. Perhaps the sight of a transparent goat child was too much for this superstitious human. He ran from his own house and ran down the road, screaming. Apparently, we'd become a bit of a legend. So I suppose he did understand what I was asking, because he was yelling about the tree, about spirits that had come from the tree.